Hey everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are having a great day today. If you're having a great day today, then I'm going to talk about something that is little depressing, but I feel like the entire point of this channel is that I come here and say all kinds of depressing stuff and talk about it to make your day worsen. So that's fine. Now we have gotten that out of the way, we can talk about what I'm here to talk about is burnout. I have been in cop culture, cop life for 4 years, and on many levels, I have understood what burnout is, either through my personal experiences or by talking to people, because I move also in circles where everyone is doing some or the other kind of cop job. So it becomes very easy to talk about burnout and figure out the patterns and different kinds of burnout and symptoms of burnout. Now, you will, especially if you are a fresher who's starting out, don't get discouraged by it. Uh, Burnout is very normal. No matter how many times people talk about it, no matter how in, in the kind of dire sense that burnout is talked about, it's still a very, very common phenomena to happen. And it is not a one all end all kind of uh, phenomena कि बस अब हो गया है तो हो गया है, सीरियस है उसके बाद आपका करियर खत्म, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. I think burnout also has phases and it also has solutions and remedies, and you need to take a break and take a remedy, which is appropriate at that time and that kind of burnout and get out of it. अब बर्नआउट से कैसे बाहर आते हैं हम इसके बारे में बाद में बात करेंगे, पर अभी बर्नआउट क्या होता है उसके बारे में बात करते हैं. The burnout can happen in different ways and the burnout can look different in different people. So let's talk about that. Number one, you might be burnout if the things that you really, really took interest in now seem boring to you. See, मैं ये नहीं कह रही, I'm not going full rancho in 3 Idiots कि आपको जो अच्छा लगता है आप उसी पे काम करो तो आपको काम नहीं खेल लगेगा, मजा आएगा. चाहे कोई भी जॉब हो, थोड़े दिनों बाद बोरिंग हो जाती है. सो आप अपनी जॉब से हमेशा ये एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर सकते that it's going to challenge you and it's going to excite you forever. Job is a job. You get paid for it. After that वो थोड़ा obligation वाला चीज आ जाता है, no matter how much you like your field. But at the same time, if there is something like, let's say if you're a writer, you love writing, you are a librarian, books are your life, you are a lawyer like me and you love law, especially you're doing the kind of law that you always aspire to do, but now you feel like you're losing interest, it's because maybe you have handled such a humongous volume of something that you used to love that now you're sort of like cutting yourself from it. You don't know, you're disassociating from it because आपने बहुत ज्यादा कर लिया है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आपको आपकी फेवरेट सब्जी और फेवरेट डेजर्ट रोज भी खिलाया जाए ना, आप उसका चार्म आपकी तरह से चला जाएगा. शायद वो आपको अभी इतना पसंद है क्योंकि आपको कभी कभी मिलता है. So when you do a huge, humongous volumes of something that you actually love, and there is a pressure, there is a deadline, there is an obligation, आपको किसी से डांट पड़ रही है, आप क्लाइंट से कोऑर्डिनेट कर रहे हो, उसमें 10 तरीके की एडमिन चीजें जुड़ रही हैं, then it becomes boring, and that could be a sign of burnout because you're mentally exhausted from doing the same thing over and over again. Number 2, you have passively quit. Let's say you are in a job and you're good at it and you're doing it for a long time and you've not quit, you're thinking about quitting. You've not actually actively or like actually quit, but passively have quit. The signs of that is you don't care how an assignment turns out. You don't care what goes out of your mailbox, uska quality kuch acha hai. Especially when we are freshers, when we are starting out and when we are in the prime of our enthusiasm and everything, we feel कि जो भी हम दे रहे हैं वो बिल्कुल अच्छा होना चाहिए and best होना चाहिए, and we give our heart and soul and mind to it, which is a great approach to it. But after a point you're like, listen, screw this, मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, मैं बहुत थक गया हूँ ये काम करके, जाए अब इसका जो होना है हो. And that kind of जो होना है हो approach means that you have passively quit because you have disassociated yourself emotionally from your job and from your assignments. Now I understand if you're an employee, if you're at a lower level, accountability आपका थोड़ा ही बहुत होता है. एक लेवल के बाद accountabilities of your seniors, of people who are reviewing it, your team lead, etc. But even that accountability which is suitable for your level, if you don't want to take it and you're just like, I really don't care, then that could be a sign of you completely burning out. I know for a fact that could be termed as laziness, this could be termed as carelessness, this could be termed as you not being fit for the job. बट जो लेजीनेस और केयरलेसनेस की सारी चीजें होती है, हम उसके साथ इनहेरेंट पैदा नहीं होते हैं, स्पेशली इफ यू हैव बीन अ हार्ड वर्किंग सिंसियर एम्प्लॉय बिफोर और हार्ड वर्किंग सिंसियर स्टूडेंट बिफोर in the same field, same kind of job, same kind of assignment. Sometime at some point in your life you cared about it. Now you don't care about it because of the bad experiences probably that you've had, because you're mentally exhausted, because you're mentally disassociating, क्योंकि तुम्हें पता है इतना केयर करके देख लिया कुछ नहीं मिलता. So now you're burned out and you're done with it. Number 3, when you feel like you're losing focus and energy. Now, it's a little different from the second point, because the second point you don't want to work on it. Third point, you want to work on it, you want to give your best outcome. It's not like you're doing it deliberately. पर नहीं हो रहा है. Physical energy नहीं है 7 बजे 6 बजे शाम को काम करने की. उसके बाद शुरू में जब हम freshers होते हैं, all nighters में I used to work like crazy. I used to have 18 hours day every day. Now also I have it. But after a point you feel like मेरे में वो फिजिकल एनर्जी नहीं है, वो मेंटल एनर्जी नहीं है टू गो थ्रू एवरी डिटेल, टू सिट देयर फॉर आवर्स एंड सॉर्ट थिंग्स आउट. एंड मुझे ऐसे लगता है कि थोड़ी देर में चाहे मैं कितना भी कोशिश करूं, मेरा फोकस जा रहा है. वो फोकस और एनर्जी जाना इसलिए नहीं जा रहा है क्योंकि आप लेजी हैं, कि आप ही बदतमीज हैं, कि आप ही कामचोर है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. इट इज बिकॉज यू आर सो burnt out, you are so exhausted on so many levels, you're so done on so many levels that even if you want, you cannot give your focus and energy to those deliverables. So in this, you are not deliberately trying to doing it, but even if you try to do it, it's not just happening for you. Number 4, you have lost sense of time, especially if you are in corp jobs. Deadlines, timelines, these are very very important. एंड जब आप एक्चुअली अपने प्राइम ऑफ वर्किंग में होते हो और आप जब बहुत डेडिकेटेड एम्प्लॉय होते हो, तो आपको ऐसा लगता है कि बस टाइमलाइन डेडलाइन नहीं मिस होनी चाहिए. अगर डेडलाइन ईओडी बोला है, ईओडी मतलब रात का 8 बजे नहीं, 5 बजे, 5 का 5 2 भी नहीं होगा. एंड यू आर सो एंथो अबाउट दीज थिंग्स. बट जब आप बर्न आउट होते हो, one sign could be that even if you're not deliberately trying to screw people over, and it's not like you don't care about your work or your clients, कभी कभी आपसे डेडलाइन मिस हो रही है, आपको टाइम का सेंस नहीं है, बिकॉज एक तो मे बी यू आर गिवन मोर वॉल्यूम ऑफ वर्क और मोर कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ वर्क दैट यू आर capable of, or you're used to handling it. That's when it happens. The transition of expectation जब होता है तब ये हो सकता है. But sometimes you feel like, because you're sort of again disassociated yourself so much, you're so incapacitated in so many ways, especially emotionally, that you feel like deadlines क्या है? Deadlines stop mattering to you in your brains, especially if you are a sort of a cog in the cog wheel and you're not actually a team lead or anything. You feel like नहीं लेना है मुझे टाइमलाइन का, accountability रहने दो. Now it's not you being लापरवाह and all that. हमारे इंडियन एजुकेशन सिस्टम में स्टूडेंट को या any person who does a mistake, उसको कामचोर, आलसी, लापरवाह बोलने की बहुत आदत है. And that is the pattern, and that's what we have been hearing from our parents and teachers, so we just follow that. But it's not because of that. It's because maybe you're burned out. That's why timelines have stopped mattering to you. And maybe this job or whatever you're doing right now is not making sense for you right now. Maybe you need a break. Maybe you need therapy. Maybe you need some other incentives to do better at what you're doing right now. It doesn't mean that you're crappy at this job. It means you're burned out. Next point. Now I've forgotten and I've lost track of what number I was saying. So just next point. Next point is when जब भी आपको कोई नया काम दिया जाता है, your first thing is no. जब हम शुरुआत करते हैं, जब हम अपने काम में बहुत इन्वॉल्व होते हैं, नए असाइनमेंट्स हमें बहुत एक्साइट करते हैं. There could be assignments then we are like, okay, ठीक है, cumbersome हो गया है, जो भी है. We want to be the busiest in our team, and we want to be the person who is making the most money, who has as lawyers, who has the most number of billable hours. ये. But अब आप इतना थक गए हैं और आप इतना ज्यादा बर्नड आउट हो गए हैं कि आपको नया काम दिखता है तो आपको लगता है, ओ माय गॉड, उसमें आपको ग्रोथ की अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं दिख रही है. उसमें आपको दिख रहा है कि आपको ज्यादा टाइम देना पड़ेगा, आपको काम करना पड़ेगा, नई फाइल खोलनी पड़ेगी, 10 तरह की नई चीजें देखनी पड़ेगी, नया लॉ पढ़ना पड़ेगा, लेट्स से एज अ लॉयर, नए 10 लोगों से इंटरैक्ट करना पड़ेगा, एक नया क्लाइंट आएगा, उससे बात करनी पड़ेगी. सो यू डोंट फील एक्साइटेड कि ओ समबडी योर सुपीरियर हैज चोजन यू फॉर अ न्यू थिंग. All you do is be like, Now you can also be overworked and do this. But there is a very, very, very fine line between a person who is just irritated because he's overworked and a person who is irritated and done with because he's overworked and burnt out. The line is the source of frustration. The source of frustration is not like, oh my god, I have so much on my plate. The line is, oh my god, I don't want anything more on my plate. I want my plate to be empty. Can I have that, please? बर्नआउट को सॉल्व करने के बहुत सारे तरीके हो सकते हैं और उनके बारे में हम बाद में शायद किसी सेपरेट वीडियो में बात करें. बट वन थिंग आई टेल यू माय फ्रेंड, यू डोंट डिजर्व टू बी बर्न आउट. I know there are people who have financial obligations. All of us have. There are education loans, let's say, to pay. There are familial responsibilities. Maybe you're thinking of buying a house or a car, or you're saving up for a vacation or for a health emergency, or you're supporting someone. I understand all of that. And sometimes because of financial considerations, you cannot quit. But if, my friend, if you feel like if financial conditions nahi hai, and you are one of those lucky ones who can afford to quit and look for something else, please do. Burnout sometimes happens generally. Sometimes वर्किंग कंडीशंस या आप जो काम कर रहे हैं या आप जिसके साथ काम कर रहे हैं, आप जितनी वॉल्यूम का काम कर रहे हैं, वो बर्नआउट को कंट्रीब्यूट नहीं करता. यू आर जस्ट बर्नड आउट इन जनरल एज अ पर्सन. Then you take a break, then you take therapy, then you disassociate. But sometimes even changing jobs and changing organizations really help. So that is one thing that I would really say. Calm down. Burnout hona is not a life or death kind of matter. It's a temporary situation. You can solve it. Our careers are not 100-meter sprints. They are full marathons. And we need to have energy and focus to be in their long run. So yeah, I hope you are able to spot your burnout and get out of it with a lot of might and with a lot of pride. I'll see you guys in my next one.